Hello everyone! I am really excited about tonight. Because I get to play more Danganronpa! I think I might be out the red. There we go. Not as in the red, but... Okay, there we go! I was trying to make sure I was in the yellow at least. So, anyways. Back to investigating. Let's see, where did I leave off? Whatever it is, I'm really worried about her. There isn't anyone who might be able to persuade her. I can think of one. Hey, Byakuya, you think you could ask her? To come out of her room, I mean.
That's fine.
Sure, whatever. Huh? You're gonna talk to her, Byakuya? Wow, I guess you can be nice when you want to. Byakuya stood in front of the door, not making a sound, and pressed the doorbell. After a few moments...
What do you want?
Leave me alone! You're all so annoying. Bacula!
It's Byakuya.
I'm sorry. I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry. Never again. I won't let you under Jack and control ever again. And with that, the door slammed shut. Even Byakuya couldn't pull it off. There's nothing else we can do. Let's get back to the investigation. Hold on! Hey Byakuya, what was Toku talking about just now? Something about a promise?
What?
Oh, I have no idea. Another one of her delusions, I'm sure. But...
Stop talking.
if I say I don't know, that means I don't know. Just let Hina take care of her. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll stay here and keep an eye on her.
Let's go.
Well then, let's go. Without waiting for a reply, Byakuya sped away. Byakuya! I hurried to catch up. I tried to talk to him several times as we walked, but he didn't even look back, let alone say anything. He just kept on walking toward his destination. Finally, his feet brought him to the stop in front of a certain room. The library? Come on, let's go in. There's no point in checking there. We need to find real clues. I'm trying to aim at you. Is the evidence that proves it was Genocide Jack really in the library?
Don't make me repeat myself.
Don't make me say it again. Wait. There's no clues there. We need to check elsewhere. If I remember, on the other side of the store, it's the archive, right? Hurry up and go inside. Oh, here?
Let's go.
It'll make more sense once we're inside. Whoa! There's so many books and files! And so much dust, too! Byakuya! How did you survive in this without coughing?
So, in other words...
I would say there's enough value in this place to endure the dust. I wasn't expecting an answer! I was gonna make one up, like, just shut up and look. But no, he actually answered me! There's a wooden box. It's empty. Although, judging by the smudges and the dust, it looks like there was something inside. I wonder what it was. There was an extension cord plugged in there. It proved very useful while I was in the library. An extension cord, huh? Huh? It's a desk lamp. Oh yeah, it's the same one I saw Byakuya using in the library before.
What?
Do you have a problem with that lamp? It was here before, then I moved it over there. It's too dark over there, so I thought I'd put it to good use. Why would you need a model coin? This shelf is stuffed tight with files. Without really thinking about it, I picked one at random. Ah, you have a sharp eye indeed to select that file. Huh?
That's right.
That's the report of the presidential assassination. The original is kept in the National Library. It won't be declassified for another 30 years. Are you sure you want to look at it now? There's no telling whose crosshair you might wind up at for peeking at it. Sorry, my brain was just... Without making a sound, I returned the file to the shelf. There's so many files stuck into the shelf. What's in all of these?
That's enough.
Those documents are dangerous. Dangerous? They detail all the people who control the world from behind the scenes. Dangerous truth for a commoner. You mean, like, members of the Diet or something? No, I mean the ones with real power. The secret council controlling everything from the shadows. If you're ready to be disappeared for it, take a look. There were some very interesting people in there. You're just kidding, right? Am I? I'll just let it go for now. Wait. I didn't know you could hit Y and then X. Wait. What if it's behind Byakuya? There's a ton of thick file stuff in that shelf. Let me try that again. There's a ton of thick file stuff into the bookshelf. If you're thinking of looking through any of them, let me give you a little warning. Those things are filled with graphic, disturbing photos from all the kinds of crimes. It's the kind of thing any normal person would ever want to look at. Be careful. Huh? What do you mean? All those files there are investigation reports related to different cold cases. Those are internal documents for police eyes only. They're not the kind of thing you'd expect to leak. Oh? So, you're finally beginning to understand the true splendor of this library. The entire reason I was interested in the library is because of this room right now.
Interesting.
It's because of this room right here. It's home to classified government documents, police records, things no ordinary person would ever see. Isn't it magnificent? This can't be for real, right?
Such ignorance.
That's your guys' problem. Anything that doesn't fit into your preconceived reality, you'll label it a lie. Well, it's not that. It's not like I totally refuse to believe it, but I mean, there's so much. How could anyone have put all of that together? I suppose it goes to show just how much power Hope's Peak truly wields. Or perhaps, the mastermind may have wanted to provide us with enough entertainment to keep us from getting bored. It's no use. I can't keep up with all this. It's just too unreal. What's wrong? You still can't believe it? What about you? How could you believe it so easily? Things like that are usually impossible. What do you mean, usually? Usual? Normal, ordinary, simple? Those things don't exist anywhere in the real world. If you don't understand what they actually represent, you don't understand the nature of anything. You don't pull your punches, do you? Besides, what you consider usual is based on your common sense, right? But what makes you think you own common sense? But what makes you think your own common sense applies to me at all? The documents gathered here are genuine. I reviewed them multiple times, so there's no doubt. Hold on a second. You're saying you've read all these documents? And more than once? But all this has to be like top secret, confidential stuff, right? So why? My family has a reading room just like this at our home. Ours is bigger, of course, and not as dusty. Huh? Members of the Tagami family have access to any variety of government-related documents. That includes foreign power as well as domestic. How is that possible?
So, in other words,
I already told you, there's a secret council that controls the world from the shadows. My family is a member of the council, and I have within me the bloodline that will allow me to one day bend the world to my will. But to become such a ruler, I must know all the levels of this world backwards and forwards. So whenever I have time, I like to review whatever documents and materials that interest me. Which is why I can proclaim without a doubt that the materials gathered here are the real thing. This is beyond believing it or not. Byakuya is actually starting to scare me more than an actual mastermind. And what always interested me most were the cold case police investigations reports. Reading through these reports has always been a hobby of mine, ever since I was little. It's excellent mental exercise. I've solved more than a few of those cases just by reviewing the reports. And among all these reports, one of my recent favorites is the Genocide Jack case. As he talked, Byakuya grabbed a specific file from the shelf.
that's right.
This is the complete case file. Every single report surrounding the Genocide Jack case has been compiled in here. Because there are so many, allow me to quickly summarize the main points. To begin, there are two notable characteristics in every Genocide Jack murder. The first characteristic is that in every crime scene, the word bloodless is written in the victim's own blood. And the second is that when the victims are murdered, their bodies are suspended in a certain way. Bloodless is written in blood and the victim's body is suspended. Exactly the same as what happened to Chihiro. Save your surprise. The best part is yet to come. For the second characteristic, where the victims are suspended. I'm not even sure Byakuya said. Yeah, he did say that. Sorry, I lost train of thought. The only ones who knew about that particular fact were members of the police and other higher-ups. By all accounts, nobody in the media ever found out. Huh? In other words, no one in the news, no one online, nobody knew about that. Nobody knew about the aspect of each crime. Only key officials and the killer himself knew about this act of mounting the victim. Now, if you recall Chihiro's corpse, her body was most certainly mounted in this fashion. So, how could the killer have known about suspending the victim?
That's right.
That's the key question. But in fact, the answer is quite simple.
So, in other words,
The culprit isn't a copycat killer, it's the real Genocide Jack.
in other words,
That right there is the evidence that Genocide Jack has hidden himself among the rest of us. Then Genocide Jack really is such a brutal, fiendish killer, really is walking around among us?
interesting.
Things are really starting to get interesting, aren't they? I never imagined a killer with such a reputation would become part of the... I never imagined a killer with such a reputation would become part of our little game. Now, don't you think it would be good for you to take a look at what I've already seen? You might just manage to ferret out a clue or two.
Such
If you get down on your knees and beg, I might even show you myself. How did they do this in such long time? I read this whole thing, didn't I? Do I have to talk to Byakuya? For now, I think I'd rather not. Byakuya, about the Genocide Jack case. Could you let me see it?
That's fine.
Well, you didn't beg, but I guess it's okay this time. Feel free to look at it in here, but you can't take it with you. Oh my god. Byakuya handed me the file and I flipped through it with tense, nervous fingers. Suddenly, my hand stopped. I had reached the page where photos from the scene of each crime had all been collected. The names of Genocide Jack's victims ran on for several pages. Ken Harada, 32. Tetsuhiro Honda, 17. Shoji Kaku, 23. Kano Issei, 14. Takashi Yoshida, 30. Komatsuno Taro. Takafumi Jono. Takafumi Gono. Uchida Naisa. Takashi Masamune. Yuto Yachijima. Yuto Yumijima. There was no end to it. But one thing became perfectly clear as I read. All of the killer's countless victims were killed and suspended in exactly the same way. And at the scene of every murder, the word bloodlust was left in the victim's blood. Now take a look at the next page, and you'll find another interesting tidbit. The next page? Profiling results. All the crimes took place either on weekdays at night or during holidays, either day or night. The most common time for the killings to take place was on holidays in the afternoon. Based on these facts, it could be suggested that the suspect must be maybe a student. Evidence suggests that the suspect lingered at the scene, but when they did leave, they were in a panic. Because an eyewitness has never come forward, it's unlikely there was an external reason for this. This confused behavior suggests that the suspect may potentially suffer from dissociative identity disorder?
So, in other words,
the key point here is that the culprit may well have a split personality. A split personality? Like the kind of things you see on TV? So, I'm part of another totally unbelievable story. But this one is way more unbelievable than anything else up to now. No, maybe it isn't. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it really isn't. I don't know. I feel like my mind has gone numb. Genocide Jack case file has been added to the handbook.
let's go.
Alright, we should get going soon. Huh? What are we going? Where are we going? Anywhere but here. We finished our business here, haven't we? Wait, Byakuya! I don't know if I'm having some hard sounds during the stream. As usual, Byakuya turned and left without another word. I hurried out of the library to catch up. Well, this is where we are. Well, this is where we part ways. I have some things I need to take care of before the class trial.
Huh? Just out of something like that?
I don't have time to.
Come on, enough of your annoying misapprehensions. Did you really think we'd be together the whole time? Take responsibility for yourself and do something useful. Move the investigation forward on your own.
Goodbye.
Well, goodbye.
And just like that, he was gone. Just as quickly as he asked me to join him, he cut me off. In the end, I felt like I was just some plaything getting tossed around. At the same time, I uncovered some really important clues thanks to him. Genocide Jack. He's the one that killed Chihiro. And that murderous fiend is one of us. But who is it? I have to find that out, no matter what it takes. And to do that, there's somewhere I have to go investigate one more time. I have to go back to the crime scene, the girls' locker room. I just checked the boys' locker room too. And the others might have to come up with some info that I might find useful while I'm at it. I need to find out everything I can.
Okay, where's the girls' locker room? I just realized it as soon as I said it. I'm only going in there to see what... to investigate. I'm only going in there to investigate the murder. Okay, so I'm actually in... Yes, I am. I don't need this. And I don't.
Ding ding ding! You fooled me! I discovered evidence! Revealing the identity of the culprit!
I feel as if.
Another starting grease for me! Evidence? What did you find? I cannot reveal that just yet. But I guarantee you what I found was steal the killer's breath from his lungs. Are you sure about that? Oh yeah, Miss Lindenberg said she'd witnessed something worthwhile too. Really? What did she see?
Well,
She refused to tell me. It's like when a girl bullies the boy she likes, right? Right?
Yifumi, you would be bullied in school every day. I have nothing to say after that, just you would be bullied in school every day if we were in an actual school.
Okay, so where's Celeste now? The warehouse by the dorms. She was there, but at the same time, not there. What's it gonna be?
I think my voice for Mikado has... Wait...
Huh, this poster. It's a popular boy band called Tornado. Somehow it doesn't quite seem to fit in the boys' locker room. I think there might be more to find. I think there might still be more to find. Like this plant. Plant, what do you know about how Chihiro died? Wait. There's a strange stain on the carpet. What is it?
Maybe that's what I had to investigate in. The change on connected to the punching bag? Hi, Emmy. And I think you meant punching bags. I don't think there's anything to investigate. I don't think there's anything to investigate while we're in the pool. Well, in the pool room anyway.
But maybe there's some kind of clue in the lockers. Guess not. But I did find a model coin. And that was the only thing I could investigate here, huh? Apparently. Wait, no. Maybe not that. Huh. You know, I thought for certain there'd be something in here that'd be interesting to investigate, but I guess not. I think I see what you mean, Emmy, but I think it has to do with them being sprites, just flattened. Because from this angle they look like they're not connected to the punching bag. But from here they are. Okay, I checked the boys' locker room, now I gotta check the girls' locker room. Can you take me? Shut up, Hifumi. It's the bloodstain poster. The blood is the most noteworthy part, but the big chested swimsuit model was pretty noticeable too. A girl's locker room doesn't seem to be the kind of place you'd find something like this. Oh, but wait, that reminds me. The poster in the other locker room is... That's right! There's definitely something strange about this. In the boys' locker room, there's a poster of a popular boy band called Tornado. In the girls' locker room, there's a poster of a big chested swimsuit model. Could the posters have been switched? But if they were, why? What reason would anyone do it? What reason would anyone have? Maybe I should talk to someone who knows a little more about the locker rooms. Why do I keep pushing select when I'm trying to get to the truth bullets? I already checked the dumbbell and the card reader. You spent a lot of time exercising in the girls' locker room, right, Sakura?
Of course.
I've seen it nearly every day since it opened up. Sometimes here and I use it together.
Okay then, let me ask you something. Do you think the posters in the boys' and girls' locker rooms could have been switched?
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I can't really say. I never really paid any attention to the posters.
I see.
However,
But there is something that's been bothering me about the locker room. You see, I like to drink a little protein coffee every time I finish exercising.
We have protein coffee?
In the warehouse. It's not the highest quality, but I don't have a lot of other options. I mix protein powder with coffee, and down a glass of it after exercise. Anyway, the other day, I spilled some of the carpet in the girls' locker room, and it left a stain.
Like the one in the boys' locker room. Wait. So, the culprit could have switched the carpet and the posters, but they didn't notice the stain from the girls' locker room as they were switching the carpets. Interesting. A stain? But I don't see any stain on the carpet now.
of course.
Exactly. I noticed it earlier. The stain has disappeared.
Oh, hi, bird girl. We're doing fine so far. We're still investigating who killed Chihiro. Oh, that poor girl. May she rest in peace.
I can only assume someone came along and cleaned it up. But still, isn't it unusually clean? As if there was never a stain here to begin with.
She does have a point, and she is right. Let's see. It almost looks like Mondo's being obscured by the punching bag. Like, hey, get this punching bag away from my face, you son of a biscuit! Hey,
Hey Kyoko! Have you made any progress on your investigation?
Indeed.
Generally speaking,
However,
I have to get going. I have something unrelated to take care of. Something besides the investigation? What is it?
well,
Nothing you need to worry about. Just concentrate on the murder. But
so then,
before I go, let me give you one piece of advice. It's gonna be forever before you can finish One Piece. You should examine... Sorry. You should examine Chihiro's body one more time thoroughly. Also, her handbook is missing. You might want to determine its whereabouts.
goodbye.
That's it. I'll be praying for your success. With that, Kyoko turned and left the girls' locker room. I guess I'll take another look at the body then. And Chihiro's handbook is missing? That's definitely worth worrying about. And her handbook has been added to the truth bowl even though I haven't found it yet. Kyoko said I should examine the body one more time. I know she said thoroughly, but I do have my limits. Well, I better give it a shot anyway. Let's see. Chihiro's hands are bound with what looks like some kind of rope. The rope was used to prop her up in a kind of crucifix position. Huh? This rope has a plug, like the one in the library. Wait, so then this isn't rope at all. But the more I think about it, the more that's not the only thing that concerns me. Chihiro's fatal injury was the blow to the head, which means someone struck her in the head in order to kill her. That's right. There's the issue of her being suspended, and the fatal blow. At first I didn't see any reason to think too much about either of them. But seeing them again after looking through the Genocide Jack file, something's not quite right. What does this all mean? Well, the one thing most likely to tie all this mystery together is the true nature of the rope that was used to suspend Chihiro. And to figure that out, there's a certain place I need to revisit and look over again. Plus, it might help to look at the Genocide Jack case file one more time. Right after we talk to Mondo. This still leads out to the pool. And that's not what I want to look at. And that's not what I want to look at. I want to talk to Mondo for a bit. Do have a real complex about being weak. You heard Chihiro talk about it, right? All I need to get stronger. Yeah, I do remember she said that more than once. Sure did. Which I guess explains the trip down here. But did she really need to get stronger that badly? You already mentioned it, but she was a girl after all. Most girls aren't all that strong. I don't know, man. I haven't really thought about that stuff. Chihiro's complex. Where did it come from? I'm guessing that and now I should just go back to the library again. Which thankfully isn't that far away. The wooden box is empty. The extension cord was in there before. I want to take another look at Genocide Jack's case file. I know it was around here somewhere. Huh? It's gone! Did someone take it out of the archive? But the only one who would do something like that... I can't think of anyone but Byakuya. It's a document about the secret council revealing the kind of truth a commoner shouldn't go near. So I guess I better not. It's the report of a presidential assassination. It's really intriguing. But if it means I become a target, nope, I'll leave it where it is. Thank you very much.
And now I don't know what to do anymore because I think at this point I'm just stuck.
The shelf is packed tight with books, but looking at it, maybe there's some kind of clue here. Guess not.
So, I was gonna say the shelf, but I stopped myself midway because I thought maybe it's just gonna be the same dialogue on all of them. And I'm right. On all of these shows, he's gonna say the same thing.
According to this letter, Hope Street Academy had started functioning as a school. And what's more, it didn't even happen recently. Apparently it closed over a year ago. The mastermind probably took over the abandoned school in order to start his killing game. Which explains why there aren't any other students here, because it's not a real school. And then there's these serious issues that forced the school to close down in the first place. Is there any connection between that and what's happening to us now? The mastermind's motive. If we can figure out why they would want to imprison us all here, will that be enough to get us out of here? Or will we die?
What happens if I do this? Will I investigate?
Huh? The lamp won't turn on. Oh, I see. It's not plugged in. The lamp's cord isn't long enough to reach the outlet from here. But last time I saw it, it was definitely on. And it was definitely right here. Oh, that's right. Byakuya was using an extension cord. But there's no extension cord right now. I wonder if...
I needed to check the lamp desk. Either gonna have him check there and then guess not. That's a TV, that's a surveillance camera, but I wonder if there's anything else in here. Maybe if I examine the box again. Or not. But what if I go back to the girls' locker room? I forgot that the pool was close to the stairs.
Chihiro's hands are bound with what looks like some kind of rope. But it isn't exactly rope at all. Still, that's not the only thing that concerns me.
I actually said all this, so... I guess we have to investigate the library for the remainder of this investigation. Wait, the killer might have used a dumbbell and gave her a fatal blow and then tied her over the extension cord along the way.
There's a blood stain on the carpet. It can only have been caused by Chihiro's murder.
I guess I have to examine more of the library.
There's a thick layer of dust on top of the desk. Maybe there's some kind of clue here. Guess not. Try heading back to the library and investigate the court itself. I'm already in the library. And I was actually about to do that, but it would just do this. And I already looked in the box and it would just say something about the extension cord being missing from the box. There's like 5 things in here that I have to examine. Or I can examine. The desk lamp. Byakuya got that one thing from over here and put it over there. It sure is dog over there. The one box is empty. The extension cord was in there before. See? I think I've examined everything in the library now. Except these 2, but they're not important. Examine the door, examine the note, examine all these shelves, examine the lamp, examine the desk. Byakuya was using an extension cord. But where did it go? Did Byakuya maybe take it and... Makoto? The extension cord is tied to Chihiro right now. Think. Byakuya said that we should do this that I should do this myself. And Kyoko already left, and she said to examine Chihiro, which I have done thrice now. And if I examine her wrist, there's nothing to examine in this room now, so maybe if I go back to the boys' locker room and examine it. She did say something about a stain on the carpet, right? There's a strange stain on the There's a strange stain on the carpet. What is it? It's the coffee that Sakura talked about earlier. And there doesn't seem to be anything else to examine in the boys' locker room either. There's nothing to examine in the pool, so the entire room is out. What else? What else? Do I have to talk to Higumi?
I see you.
That's it. I'm sure of it.
I already saw all of this, so... The warehouse, huh? What warehouse is he talking about? Maybe if we go back downstairs, maybe I'll be onto something. Taka?
How unfortunate.
Maybe we shouldn't have confessed on embarrassing secrets after all. Darn it! I'm sorry, Chihiro. It's all because I wasn't strong enough. Well, he's useless. But her e-handbook.
Huh?
Oh, hey Makoto, what's up? I haven't been up to anything myself, that's for sure. Definitely haven't looked inside the mailbox. there's a mailbox here, and inside are Junko's, Leon, and Sayaka's e-handbooks. It looks like the handbooks of any dead students are brought here to the mailbox somehow. The rule says loaning an e-handbook to any other student is strictly prohibited. Only lending it against the rules. In other words, there's no problem with borrowing it. Also, it looks like Leon's handbook refuses to turn on, but according to Monokuma, it shouldn't be broken. Is that really unrelated to the case? Either way, something about it still bothers me. Well, there's another examiner in here, so... Okay. So that was pointless to go to the gym this time because there was no murder. Then again, there was no murder in there the last time, so... we could at least go to the store and check it out. I mean, we got at least a few mono coins, so... oh, right. They're inverted. Celestia? Where's she? Maybe if we go back to the inn. Aha. Let's check Azahina first and then go to Celestia. Maybe Hina has some insight. Oh, Hina, how's Toko doing?
Same as before. She won't come out. But she just keeps on mumbling something about Genocide Jack. So I just left her here.
You left her?
My hair was all swimmy and I was just getting pretty hungry.
Yeah.
Oh, but don't worry. I'm gonna head back as soon as I'm done eating. Toko's not exactly pleasant, but I'm still worried about her.
Speaking of which, what are you eating?
Huh?
A donut, of course.
Of course.
There's two different shirts God created. Outer space and donuts.
Really?
I bet Chihiro would have liked to eat more donuts. Maybe that was her one big regret. I should have tried to spend more time with her.
Come to think of it, who did spend time with her?
Well...
Other than me, obviously, but still.
Yeah, she was a little bit strange. Didn't really hang out with the other girls much. It was like she was trying to keep her distance from us.
Actually, Sakura said something similar. She said that even though you and her invited Chihiro to exercise with you, she always refused.
Yeah, totally.
Yep, it's true. And it wasn't just us. It wasn't just us either. It was like she stayed away from all the girls.
Was she just shy?
I don't know. She talked to the boys all the time. Isn't it kind of weird to be shy around your own sex? But totally fine with the opposite sex? Oh, wait, maybe she was used to guys spoiling her. The law says you can't judge a book by its cover, right? You think so? I never really saw her as that kind of girl. To be fair, I don't think it's been a while since I played this. Like, I haven't played this since last week, so give me some credit for not thinking about going to either the warehouse or the dining hall. Celeste, what are you doing here? This warehouse is amazing. It has absolutely everything you might need to live a full life. From food to clothes to towels. Then there's an endless supply to choose from. I see that, but have you found anything related to the case?
Most unfortunate.
I knew you were going to ask me that. I started talking about the warehouse itself might misdirect you, but I see it was pointless. Then you did find something. Very well. I will tell you, and only you.
Actually,
Last night, I saw her here. Chihiro visiting the warehouse. What? Really?
indeed.
This was right before nighttime.
What are you doing out this late?
Oh, I was just...
Are you planning to go exercise, perhaps?
What? How did you know?
Because I can see a blue track jacket sticking out of that duffel bag you're carrying.
Oh, you're right. Thanks. Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that,
Yes,
she was gone.
indeed.
I assume she was merely stocking up to go exercise in the morning, but it would appear she ignored the nighttime rule and headed directly to the girls' locker room. If she hadn't broken that rule, none of this would have happened. You get what you deserve, I suppose. So apparently, she went to the girls' locker room late at night in order to exercise without anyone noticing. Anyone knowing. But the strange thing is, there was no trace of the track jacket or duffel bag Celeste said she saw Chihiro carrying. Which would mean the killer would have gotten rid of it somehow. Almost an hour in and finally.
I'm getting tired of waiting. Shall we just plunge right in? It's the moment you've all been waiting for! The class trial!
For once, I agree with Monokuma. I am getting tired of waiting. Shall we just blend right into it? For once, I agree with him.
You remember where to meet, right? Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon!
Begin the class trial, or it's about to begin. The red door is right through here. Ahem. So, is everyone ready to... What? Am I blind? Or am I missing someone?
Yo.
Yeah, Toko's not here.
And Toko is...
You really don't remember?
Come on!
Kidding! I'm just kidding! How can I forget that little nut job? She's a crucial part of the class trial this time.
What are you gonna do?
Okie dokie. I'll go ahead and drag her out here kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please. And just like he said, a few minutes later, he reappeared dragging Toko behind him. I told him I didn't want to, but he forced me. I can't believe you would just drag a girl around. Terrible! You're terrible! Phew! So now everyone's here, right? Okay then! Hustle onto the elevator and let's get this show on the road! I'll see you guys down there!
Let's go.
So, shall we get going? It's time to find out who killed Chihiro.
Chihiro Fujisaki. She was so gentle, so calm and meek. Nobody had any problems with her. Someone made the choice to kill a girl like that. And that murderer is one of us. Someone standing right here.
Oh, I don't get to I don't go straight for... Can I... By the way, if you're new here, if you follow me, if I can get 100 followers, then I can stream. Then I'll stream Sonic Forces.
Hey, come on.
Heckin' Toko, man. What's got her so worked up?
There is something odd about Toko's behavior. I do not think mere shock is enough to explain it. I gave you plenty of work to work with. Show us how far your logic can take you.
I guess there wasn't much help out all this in this one. Miss Fujisaki, I must admit, for being 3D, she was quite remarkable. Of course, just the idea of 3D makes me cringe.
And hearing you speak makes me cringe.
Shall we go?
Shall we begin? I don't know why the killer did what they did, but I'm sure it'll work out itself. Work itself out. Justice always prevails, right, bro?
Right, bro.
Well then.
I will uncover the villain who performs such heinous acts on a weaker individual.
You ready? We doing this? We have no choice, right? We have to do this.
It's true.
Yes. I gave a small nod in reply. With one last deep breath, I walked toward the elevator on shaky legs. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. I couldn't get a handle on my emotions. Couldn't stop speculating. The steel box sank with heavy clunking sounds deeper and deeper into the ground. And as we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation. Until finally, my pizza arrived. It came to a sudden stop.
Oh, I thought he had a bandage for a second. Like Toko was beating him up for some reason. But that's against the rules.
What do you think? I redecorated. Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting?
Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with.
Good. You're rip-roaring to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it, not at all.
Well,
I hate it immeasurably. Okay then, let's get this show on the road. Everyone, please find your assigned seats. And so, with the gun opened once again, a deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal.
I was trying to think of something else deadly for him to say.
A deadly pair of scissors.
I'll try next trial. Oh, he's still going. A deadly riddle. A deadly defense. A deadly faith. A deadly class trial. Should have saved this last week. Should have saved last week. And I got the robot jog, which will increase my truth bullet rate. Keeps damaging the opponent when a statement is destroyed. Effective during the bullet time battle cost 2d8. Is that all I have? Melodious voice, robot jock, and attentive influence? Let's see. The victim was Chihiro Fujitaki. The time of death is estimated to be around 2 o'clock in the morning. The body was discovered in the girls' locker room on the 2nd floor of the school. The cause of death was a blow to the head with a blunt object. She was killed instantly. Although Chihiro wanted to get stronger, she declined several invitations from Sakura and Aoi, and may have used the locker room late at night to avoid them. Despite this, Chihiro had stated that she desired more help with her efforts. She may have been meeting someone in the locker room that night, the night she was murdered. The dumbbell found on the floor on the girls' locker room has a significant amount of blood on it. It was the blunt object. And Mother says that Chihiro had told anyone willingly to listen that she wanted to get stronger. So assume that due to her inferiority complex about being weak, she admired strength more than anything else. To unlock a locker room, you need to swipe your e-handbook over the card reader. You need a male student's handbook for the girls' locker room and vice versa for the females' locker room. It is not possible for 2 people to enter the room at the same time, and lending a handbook is a violation of school regulations. The handbook of each student that died is placed on the mailbox in the main hall. One of the handbooks found in the main hall has been broken, which is apparently a rare occurrence. Junko and Sakura's handbooks have both seemed to work fine, so is a student of the broken handbook, Leon's. But Monokuma claims that it's unlikely that Leon's handbook would have broken. The suspected genocide Jack victims include Ken Harada, Tetsuhiro Honda, and Shiro Gaku, among other countless others. They were killed in the same way and mounted to a nearby wall. The word bloodless was found at the scene of the crime, written in blood. Profiling indicates the killer is likely a student suffering from a split personality. And Harry says that Chihiro seems to have consciously kept her distance from girls at the school even from the beginning. Meanwhile, it had been noticed that she got along remarkably well with males. The carpet in the boys' locker room was found with a blackish stain on it. Blood was found on the poster in the girls' locker room. The poster featured a big-chested supermodel popular among young boys. Meanwhile, the poster in the boys' locker room was found on a boy band popular with teenage girls. Chihiro's handbook was not found on her corpse, and has apparently gone missing. Chihiro's body had been suspended in her hands, had been bound with some kind of rope. Her fatal injury was a blow to the head. Disappearing stains. Sakura mentioned that she was responsible for a coffee stain on the girls' locker room floor. However, the stain had since been inexplicably scrubbed away. Byakuya was known to use this lamp often. However, the extension cord had gone missing at some point and the lamp's cord couldn't reach the outlet. On the night of the murder, right before nighttime, Chihiro was spotted leaving the warehouse. It seems she was stuffing some blue exercise clothes into a duffel bag. Presumably, she was on her way to exercise, but the clothes were not found at the crime scene. Celeste had not told anyone other than Makoto about this encounter. Let's hope I remember all of this.
Let's begin with a basic explanation portion of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
First, we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. The dumbbell.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been? I bet it was an iron pipe.
Oh wait, I got it right that time.
No, that's wrong. Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yes! That's so creepy!
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Excuse me.
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? A new line has been added to non-stop debate. Would you like to hear more? Wait, I want to hear it!
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Wait.
No, that's wrong. I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case.
Yeah, he used scissors.
First is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Booblust.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
The other characteristic in every Genocide Jack case, which the world at large doesn't know. If I'm not mistaken, it has to do with the precision of the body.
I got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of.
They went to the library.
It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
What?
Wait, what? It was Toko?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
Dude. Can we all agree that Hifumi is terrible? Who else agrees with me? Text if you agree with me, please.
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack?
I'll never say
The
that.
answer is yes and
Yes.
no.
Another riddle. Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
It's a riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. When it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also not be Toko. The answer is that she's not just one person, but multiple people, right? Hangman's Gambit, oh boy. I don't think I did well the first time. Hifumi Ian, I am the best. Hifumi Ian, the best character. Best. But there are worse Danganronpa characters. It's a matter of opinion. Spoiler. Isn't. Okay.
Now I understand. Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
But can we agree that Hifumi's a bit annoying? The one thing that shows Toko could have a split personality, and that's to do with her behavior. Are you talking about her fainting? Well, I can say it's close, but not quite. Fainting by itself is proof of a split personality. Then it must be something else. Looks like I just embarrassed myself in front of everyone.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
Agreed, but I've heard Hiro is worse. That's why I kinda make him sound like this. Maz said that he sounded like he was some kind of smoker or something because of some marijuana. And I didn't want to do it because it was too obvious. Especially with his hairstyle. I'm fine, yeah. Whoa, is that a dead body? Hey, are you dead? Yeah. She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The world has a front and a back, a top ending and a bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies. This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, Within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control. I'll drive her out, the killer, to drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How? Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised! I can't believe you lied!
You have only yourself to blame.
Oh boy.
You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to.
She's about to lose it.
This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale.
But it is like a novel, so...
Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise...
I'm sorry I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control over her again. Ever again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that. But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it.
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
Oh boy.
The person you don't mean.
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second, her skirt got
What is wrong with your face?
What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do?
For once I agree with Hifumi.
I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
I agree with Amanda. What the frick is this?
What happened to you?
Not Toko. That's a loser name. And what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's fault.
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Big Mouth? You mean like You mean like Genocide Jill or Hero?
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
This is the murderous fiend Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane!
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
Did you go up a hill to fetch a pail of water?
What's up?
Some of us think that we might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true? Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people.
Am I the only one who heard her sound like she had a Brooklyn accent or a Jersey accent?
It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
What kind of accent does Genocide Jill have anyway? Brooklyn, Jersey, Cockney?
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack.
Now's the time, Emmy! I don't need that emote right now!
If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Huh?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe she's totally right about that, but there's something still bothering me. What she said. I need to get some more details about all of this. Alright, then what else? Status of the dead body.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
No, that's wrong.
I think I got this one.
Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything.
Wait, I can figure this out. Aside from the blood, what else? she stabs them with scissors. She stabs their wrists and every other place, I'm not gonna say where, and their head with scissors. Chihiro's death didn't have scissors when she died. When she was being crucified, she didn't have scissors around her wrists. She had the extension cord. So it couldn't have been Genocide Jill.
But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee.
I would like some Chef Boyardee.
No creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
There's one clear difference between the murders. In the photo from the Genocide Jack case, look at the neck and stomach. Here you can see a clear difference.
I got it! For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method?
Well, what if they were inspired?
There's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
Especially since I'm hungry.
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That's right. The second difference was relating to how she was suspended. In the photos of the other Genocide Jack cases, all the other victims were stabbed through their heads. Here you'll see a clear difference.
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
No, he's referring to the guy next to you.
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case.
That's right, they were all male. Chihiro's a female.
There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
Pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Let's see. There was a pattern surrounding the Genocide Jack victims, and Chihiro didn't fit it. If you look at the names of every victim, what you'll notice is, I think I figured it out. I know she couldn't have killed Chihiro.
I got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Ken Harada, 32. Tetsuhiro Honda, 17. Shoji Gaku, 23. Kano Issei, 14. Takashi Yoshida, 30. Komatsu Naitaro, Takafumi Gono, Uchida Naoi, Naora, Takashi Masamune, Yuto Yumichima. There was no end to it.
They were all guys?
Exactly.
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
That is a legit question. What is wrong with her?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-blood fan madam!
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly? Cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect.
She's got a point.
Does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the store?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class, envy of the entire world scissors!
I was gonna say, she doesn't use any other kind of scissors, she uses her own.
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
Are they in her sleeves?
She's fully equipped. That's right, so I can kill anywhere, anytime. Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side?
Like seriously, where did she find them? Or where did she keep them?
Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong. You can't ken, you gutter dogs, all of you.
She's also a fast talker.
Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. The rope's totally out of the question anyway.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
Apparently so. She doesn't use rope, she uses her own scissors, and she does it to the wrists. And she doesn't use just any kind of scissors, she just uses her scissors. And she wouldn't use anything like a dumbbell.
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, hold on. There is one person. One person who could have copied the Genocide Jack cases. You got it wrong this time. Think about it and try again. At that time it was worth a shot, because I thought Mondo would have because he's a strong... Wait. No way, it couldn't be Sakura. Nope. I thought not. It could have been Byakuya though.
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack files before this all happened, hadn't you?
I'm sorry, I was thinking of like the gym for some reason. Well, not the gym, the locker rooms.
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Okay, you're creeping me out more than your other personality.
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I didn't do it, you simpleton.
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me.
Dang you, Byakuya!
When would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
He didn't!
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
And the locker rooms. They're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed, wouldn't you agree? Huh? Suspicious? It seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it?
What was inside the girls' locker rooms? The poster and the carpet!
Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
There was a clear contradiction in what Byakuya just said. I need to make it clear to everyone. Next we're going to add something called a truth flashback. If you aim at a weak point and hold down the Y button, then you'll memorize that weak point. This memorized phrase can only just be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it'll disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to the lie or contradiction in your little truth bullets, you might be ways to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. When's the best time for the flashback? Well, you'll just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case, though, I will say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well then, good luck and have fun! The second Monokuma file.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird...
If you're presented with the opportunity,
That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro.
No, that's wrong. I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead, show us.
What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. I've got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with him.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is, I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
The difference between this case and the other Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves Byakuya is responsible is hidden in there? What could it be?
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
No,
Obviously,
I had it too.
Had it hidden away somewhere.
What? The difference? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own, and I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with some kind of rope.
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life. Obviously, somebody else must have had it hidden away.
I missed.
What? The difference between the... You want me to explain? When I want to kill, and I use those same...
But Chihiro, it was some kind of...
That's right! Then there must be something...
Hey, Byakuya.
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
No, that's wrong.
Got it.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned. As if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved?
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait! What was that just now? Something's not right. Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room, but does that mean... Can I really just accept what Byakuya said as truth? No, I don't think that's so. There's definitely something off about what he said.
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
What about the boys' locker room?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene?
I think I got Byakuya this time.
That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey Byakuya, did I just take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who had been so confident up till now, maybe Byakuya never even realized the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. There was something that was switched between the boys' and girls' locker room.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
Wouldn't it make more sense if it was the boys' locker room that had that? If anything, the girls' locker room should have like a boy band in it.
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms.
The carpets!
You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not that the stain was scrubbed away. It was moved.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question.
Hold on. No, that's not it. I thought I could. I was hoping to look at the. Okay, there we go. Actually, a bigger question. This matter did take place in the boys' locker room.
Then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Gotta check something real quick. Is he right? Could Chihiro really have gone into the boys' locker room somewhere? Somehow? What's my next bullet?
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook. She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her. No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
No, that's wrong.
There we go. Got it the first time.
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, yup, yup! Hit the nail square on the noggin!
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
No.
Psst. You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Really? Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room and Byakuya is the one who did it? Really? But still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that...
Oh
why
boy.
don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
Huh? For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
I mean, mentally, by the way, I can't really move my mouth. It's just a permanent smile.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
So before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead, and where she took us was...
The girls' locker room?
Actually, before we continue, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna go to the bathroom because I have to pee. Alright, I'm back.
We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
Huh? You want to check it again?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully? Like using our hands?
No way!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura. What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about? That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
I mean, maybe Chihiro would like a girl to touch her body.
Okay, here I go.
Considering...
I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Considering what we've seen, it's likely that she would have liked it. Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
She's going Super Saiyan!
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Sakura Asai was staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is
what?
Is a boy.
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
What?
He had a delayed reaction there. Wait, Chihiro's a guy?
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then it's really true?
Chihiro was a guy?
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
Then he was a cross-dresser? Oh, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial.
And is that get added to my choose bullets or no?
I do apologize for keeping you waiting.
Guess not.
Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
To think that Chihiro was actually a guy. The thought had never even crossed my mind.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
He's off in his own little world.
He's always off in his little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
After all, he helps me look up all the evidence.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
It's called changing your mind,
He just
Hifumi.
seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy. If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
I don't think he is.
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Still a shame for him, though.
Well,
Yes.
I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility. Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
No, he doesn't.
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Yes.
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
But if Byakuya didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing we can be sure that we know about the killer. The killer was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means...
I got it!
Since the crime scene was the boys' locker room, you would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. But that's still not enough. I need to find some more clues.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer! And only the killer!
No, that's wrong! I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Hey!
Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Well, I better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
What a marvelous friendship!
The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say. But fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Does Chihiro's jacket really hold some clue about the killer? Somehow, it's really hard to believe.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. 'Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You've heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
She's right. What he said just now was really odd. How did he know something like that?
First of all, Winky was on his way, so next week, why did he choose?
What do you mean,
I got it! It matched the one.
So, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
No, that's wrong. Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, She said...
I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then I assumed he headed to off to exercise.
She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you? You just...
Hey, Celeste. What color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Unless...
Because I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility!
Cherry?
Are you talking about Chihiro?
No, I'm talking about some cherries. We should go have some after this is over. Assuming we're all alive.
So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Why does she have a long tongue?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
I am going to stare into your soul. Because my soul is gone.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question. There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happen to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You notice such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful.
We must find the witch!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah, he would never do something like that. This is a false accusation.
Are you sure, Taka?
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come. That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Is your little ghost friend named Casper?
Oh yeah, That reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Jeez, did your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then, here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
You found it on the ground, right? Then it must belong to...
I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
Like, say, superhuman strength?
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
How did this handbook break? There's only one possible explanation.
I got it! You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession, then...
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
Huh? You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already. Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break! I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna. The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
She's got a point.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa! Seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Who might have brought their handbook into the sauna? It had to be the one who wore all their clothes into the sauna. It was...
Here's my answer! Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets.
This is true.
And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
No, that's not it. The heck are you talking about? Just shut up, you little crud. You little butt.
Shoot!
Hey, think about it one more time. There must be a contradiction in there somewhere.
Let's test if what he says you broke your own.
In other words, if Mondo's, then that proves.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all. Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly.
No, I know what it is.
Let's test if what he says
You broke your own handbook.
In other words, if then that proves that what.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all.
You think you have some proof that contradicts what I said?
Shoot!
Let's test if what he says
You broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all.
It must not be that.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's then that proves that what Makoto.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Makoto was wrong after all.
Shoot!
Just trial and error.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo, then that proves that what Makoto said.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all. Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly.
Okay, think.
Let's test if what he says you broke your own.
In other words, if then that proves.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
That's not it either.
Let's test Makoto's assertion.
If what he says you broke your own, in other words, if then that proves.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See?
Makoto was wrong after all.
Shoot!
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct,
Then you broke your
own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook, then that proves that what Makoto...
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all.
Shoot!
Ah!
Is this really the end for all of us? I refuse to give up yet.
let's test Makoto's assertion.
If what he says is
You broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn
Handbook works just...
No, that's wrong. Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
There we go.
What is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall. Isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch!
If this ends up being like Leon's...
What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Closing argument, oh boy. Why does this picture of Chihiro look suggestive? This clearly has Chihiro's. It's not that. Let's see if I got this right.
Here's exactly what happened. First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple. Because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him.
No, I didn't lay out my reasoning right. I need to rearrange the events of the case. Okay, so it wasn't the dumbbell.
The killer is you! And attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from.
I had a feeling that they had at least one of them mixed up.
It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned.
No, that's not it either.
Here's exactly what happened.
So it was a dumbbell.
The killer is you!
Ah! I didn't see that actually. Oops. Eh.
The killer is you! Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster.
Okay, I had the dumbbell and the post on the wrong end.
Here's exactly what happened. Which is why the killer hurried to try. Then, removing the bloody poster. The killer is you! Which then?
Yes!
And finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course. But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem.
I almost had it too.
I refuse to give up yet.
I think this is what screwed me over each time I do it.
The killer is you! First,
Let's see if I got it right this time. Because I feel like the first 3 pages I got right.
and finally, a girl's handbook was necessary with this. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem.
There we go.
And that's exactly how the killer did it.
I think the poster was what was messing me up there. Like,
with the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things, but no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated. So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, The killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out.
Oh my god.
Isn't that right, Mondo Arata?
He looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh villain.
Wait. No. This can't be right. Where's your evidence? Yeah. Where's your evidence? You need evidence. You need proof. Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him.
Evidence that Mondo is the killer. That already revealed itself early in the trial. If I can somehow show where Mondo's handbook is right now. Once I do that, everything will become clear. Just gonna fever time and...
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you! False! Show me some evidence. I won't listen! False! You're corrupt! Show me some evidence.
This should prove it. If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I did it. I killed him.
He freely admitted it. Well, at least I got an A on the final ranking. Final result. And a lot of mono coins for it.
Bro, what are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just... give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around?
Pull the lever, wrong lever!
Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
A B? I had to, I'm sorry. Did I win the lottery? Yay! I won the lottery again!
What?
Uh-oh! This time it looks like you got it right again! Yes, it is so! The blackened that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was... Hondo Wada!
Unbelievable.
In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. You're treating very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful. I refuse to believe. There's no way he would kill someone.
Sorry.
What is this?
Why are you apologizing? Why? Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taking a vow of silence. So allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually...
The story of the murder this time is the sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the B button to fast forward the text. Anyway, there once was a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so very weak even though you're a boy. He'd heard things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and buried himself further and further into that weakness, to take on a fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen that as his way out. Now no one will be able to say anything about even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself up in the shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside of him, and was not so easy weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak.
Weak.
Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, this was a survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of their embarrassing secrets. Which of course includes Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy.
Hey,
And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The horn's shadow would crack, the armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair.
What?
And yet...
I'm sorry.
Sorry. I didn't really want to talk about it right now.
But
I also don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later. As I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used the threat of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
that's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
I'm going to get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough so that when someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay. I'll get better. With that thought at the front of his mind, he was on to take immediate action. And so... that day, he made a commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body. But sadly, this would be the first and only chance he would get at it.
Hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be a good idea to ask someone for help. But he wanted to tell that person his secret first, and then ask them to help him from there. And the person he went to?
Yeah, that's right.
It was me. Yep, it sure was. The bike gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. So Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was the very symbol of the strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to be. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help me give me some courage. So you went and asked Mondo to help him become stronger. Wait, I shouldn't say this. Monokuma should. That was his inspiration. And he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then, that must be why he wanted to do what he did. To keep the promise he'd make to Chihiro. Huh? Did what he did? You mean, that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from a boys' locker room into a girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Wasn't it to cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
That could have been part of it, but I don't think that was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he'd made to Chihiro. But how does moving the body keep a secret? Because if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity. So, he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook. See? Then Mondo did all that to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed? Why? Why would he do that? The more I hear about you talk about it, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why? Why did you? Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it, after all. The possibility of having the embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible! Nothing could have been that bad. Something he didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone.
Wrong.
It's impossible!
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standard is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it. Well, while we're on the subject, why did I tell you? That embarrassing memory. That secret he didn't want anyone to know.
Hey,
You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother. Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraffs across the country tremble. But the only thing he had the chance to join a gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother's name is Daya Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya that Mondo even got on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he intimidated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang. And before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, number one of the gang, and as number two, his younger brother, Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy.
But when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang for his brave brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation, began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul.
The kid's gonna take over for Dyer, huh? Do Peaches and Gravy go together? I have no idea.
Dyer created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo just along for the ride.
Could someone like that really be our leader?
All that'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whisper of the other members of his gang. Which is why...
I
gotta get stronger. Stronger than Dyer. Once. Just one time. No matter what, I gotta win.
Don't fuck with me.
I don't care what it takes. I gotta come out on top.
And on the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic. But suddenly...
Oh my god! Dyer looked a bit like Josuke in the front, in the back.
Laying in his kid brother's arms, the other brother delivered his final words.
My bad, kid. I fricked up. Sorry.
Of course, he knew it was his brother's fault, but Dyer never blamed him for what happened.
Hey, kid. The rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. Because it's the team, you and me put together. It's a promise between men. A promise between men. Between men. Between men.
He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang. In order to keep the gang together and keep the promise of his brother, he could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that had caused his accident. And as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who bested this big brother. Dyer was gonna lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation of what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother.
I'm strong. Strong, 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 strong.
And yet, as soon as our killing game began, he realized no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the lovely, the hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light of his secret. Mondo killed his own older brother.
No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I've been carrying around, it all would have been for nothing. So that's why
Mondo!
After I saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled up with a kind of fuzzy uneasiness, and just started swirling around. I never felt anything like it before. I didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say, but after a while the fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety, way down at my stomach. And it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him And right there, he told me a secret. Seriously? Jeez!
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry I lied to you.
But why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden?
Huh?
Because, I mean, you've kept that secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would...
But...
You're right, but...
I want to change.
I ran myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever.
His words were like a knife in my gut. I felt like he was exposing the lie I had been living myself.
I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong. It can't hurt you, right? Whatever the secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying if I really
What?
am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secret?
Huh?
I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness, to try and overcome it. He was the kind of strength I've never had. So I was jealous of him. And that jealousy broke me.
What?
Are you making fun of me? I'm strong? Are you freaking kidding me right now?
No!
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo.
I felt like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did you want me to do? What was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I just supposed to sit back and let my secret get revealed and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
Damn you!
Why did you tell me all that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
No, I just really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. I am strong. Strong. I'm strong. Strong. Stronger than you!
You son of a
And
bitch!
stronger than Daya! I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, he was laying at my feet, covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand, and I was just staring at him, down to the ground. Hey!
I killed him. I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. He was not only so aggressive, so angry. He hid that weak side away from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness that had lived in a heart like his, and it turned him cold-blooded. Gosh darn it. Look at him, you see? You're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory. For that, he killed another living human in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see hope anywhere in there? 'Cause I sure don't. You jerk! Just shut up, you son of a biscuit! Go ahead, say it again! I dare you!
Yep.
Okay, I'll say it as many times as I want. Is what I want to say, but unfortunately I can't do that right now because the time for punishing is fast approaching. Punishing?
It can't be.
You mean execution?
Well now.
That's what I promised you, right? The blacken that disturbs the peace will be punished.
Ridiculous.
Hold on.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For Mondo Owada, the ultimate biker gang leader. No, wait.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
I said wait.
I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Oh boy. I have no idea what that says because I can't read Japanese. And Monokuma has a Mondo hairstyled wig. I don't know this. And here we see Mondo tied up in the Thunderdome. And Monokuma is having a party in front of it. What happened to his body? Oh my god, he's been cremated into butter! I can't believe it's not Mondo! Have you read that children's book? No, I haven't! Laugh at... I'm losing my voice. Laugh at death, and your soul will forever be at peace. I haven't. It can't be! My brother! Another murder, and another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. Asaka's sad screams invaded our skulls. We were each forced to realize once again. But he, of course, he had to. What a disappointment. This is the end of this game? But Byakuya?
What is this?
You're completely insane, you know that? A game? One of my friends is dead. Do you realize that?
Naturally.
Of course I do. Because this game is life or death.
Hey.
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have to respond. I don't have a response. Except that I just don't understand why. Why did you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime?
What?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting. His voice was calm, emotionless, like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night, when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
Honestly.
So you ignored the nighttime rules then? That rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to be done.
Well, I don't particularly care. Please continue. The night grew late, and I decided to return to my room, which is why I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse. What? You mean you actually witnessed the murder? He was such a fool. He didn't have the slightest idea that I'd seen him. So you're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed. But if that had been the end of it, how boring would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would liven things up. You did all that to liven things up?
I see.
So after hearing about Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that to create the fake murder scene? But darn, man, if we hadn't figured out who really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously, I would have revealed the truth before it even reached that point. Of course. Byakuya had turned and looked me in the eye. I could feel her sharp eyes piercing into me. Thanks to a sudden remarkable someone, it never did. And I was able to perform an interesting experiment. Once I do decide to become blackened, I know now. I now know who I'll have to watch out for. What?
Correct.
So that was your reason. Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes. We're done listening to your story. Moving on.
Hey.
There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
Oh, I'm up next. You like to perform those elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is, why? Do you like them? But you know, this punishment, this is fair. It's not just for you. All this punishment, all this despair is a gift, is my gift to mankind itself.
What?
You're over-exaggerating. I am not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope into despair.
Damn.
What do you mean?
Huh?
Mean? Mean? Mean?
What the heck?
Mean.
Damn it!
Good grief, I don't understand why you have to pick apart every little stupid thing. Yada does that. Whatever, it doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as the victor, and then everything will be revealed to me.
Ooh,
The noble son of a noble family. Truly understand me. I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship.
That's enough.
Shut up! I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I have achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm going to find you and kill you, understand?
In the name of my family.
In the name of the Takami family, for which victory is a foregone conclusion.
You're getting all riled up.
Oh, so cool! It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mom for you. I swear, whatever it takes, I will kill you. Temper. Sounds like someone needs a nap. Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom, and the curtain closed on the case of Chihiro and Mondo. But I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell. Had more of a future than us. All of our courage, our effort, our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part.
Why do you try to have some fun once in a while?
You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now, so just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
There's one thing I'd like to ask you.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Who is it? The 16th high school student I mean.
My me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but... Super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied. Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
And just like that, we received the Crazy Diamond. Not the album, though. I wish it was that. Finally, we can end this.
I know I shouldn't cry, but I've had enough. I can't take it anymore. Getting out of here anytime soon? It's impossible. I can't let myself think about how much I want to get out of here. If I keep thinking like that, I might decide to.
Donuts. I need to eat some donuts. That'll cheer me up. Glazed donuts, twisted donuts, jelly donuts, cream filled donut holes, molasses.
Okay.
Oh god of donuts, I'm praying for a wonderful encounter. I'm sorry. Please forgive me for breaking the nighttime rule. But right now, for me, donuts are absolutely necessary.
Huh?
What's that sound? It sounds like it's coming from the bathhouse.
But...
I'm super scared, but... Is someone there?
A next generation legend. Stand tall, Galactic Hero. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this is where I last was. So anyways, I'm gonna end the stream here. And this was a pretty long one. I didn't know how long this was gonna be. So anyways, thank you for being with me for this whole class trial. And have a good night.